Hey y'all, it's Helena Lena with What's Poppin USA Small Business Support Network. Quick question for you. Do you know anybody with bad manners? Maybe somebody that eats with their elbows on the table, somebody that picks their nose, that picks their teeth, scratches their butt in public. Maybe they interrupt to say all about me, 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 me while you're in the middle of a conversation with somebody else, right? Those are personal bad manners, personal etiquette. What about business? Do you know anybody who has any ratchety bad manners in business? And if y'all don't know me yet, that is one of my favorite topics. I love to talk about small business etiquette. Y'all, I have found my small business etiquette soulmate. Her name is Lishy, Mauzy, and y'all, we about to go ahead and tear it up this week. Let's talk small business. Say it. So are we just gonna jump right in it because y'all, I am speaking to Miss Lishy Mauzy over there with Like a Boss Resumes. I have found my small business soulmate with this business etiquette, bad business manners thing. This is my girl right here.
Yes, honey. Business etiquette is just period. It's just everything to me. I'll try to run my business with Chick-fil-A mentality.
Oh, that's what we aim. That's what my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. You get that so sappy and you get tired of it and you think it's pretentious, but every single.
Yep, because when you go over to McDonald's, you really appreciate Chick-fil-A and they're my pleasure.
Oh, right? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
What you want?
As I'm snapping my gum on my phone.
It's the little things. It's the little things that you don't even think matter, but they do. They do matter.
So let's talk about, think about, and then we even give those big businesses passes though, right? Because even though you had crap service at McDonald's, the next time you hungry at 2:45 and you driving by such and such an intersection, you gonna pull your little hiney right through that drive-through because you know what to expect. You know what you're getting. You know what they're about, right?
Exactly.
What about a small business? If you just popped up on my Instagram and I don't know you, and I was like, let me hit this person up, and I don't hear a response.
Yep. I mean, nowadays, if you're on any platform, I know Instagram and Facebook, even if you're not available, they can there's you can automate
notifications, automation.
And with my business, I don't work on the weekends. Well, I have two businesses, but the one I don't do anything on the weekend. But if a customer reaches out or my Google goes off, I touch base with that customer. Hey, look, I'm closed right now. What can I help you with? Do this, send me an email. I will follow up with you on Monday. It's just being in contact and communicating with people. And I've had so many people just say, thank you for your response. I've hit up 4 or 5 businesses and nobody's responded to me. And it's even if I'm busy, all my stuff is laid out automatically. I just send them a text. Well, here's this, and here's this. Let's follow up Monday.
How do you not have Isn't that why you're in business? To have customers, to communicate with them, to sell your stuff.
How bad do you want that sale?
Apparently you got Oprah money and you could care less because them sales coming in and you're over there TikToking and not answering your messages, right?
And it's a lot of people don't realize your business is your brand. This is my face. This is me. And I'm not saying that my name holds a lot of weight, but I'm gonna put myself out there to say my name holds weight because I'm trying to
integrity. Business integrity, right?
Yes.
So yeah. So when you go to certain places, you're gonna get, like we said, service. You know what to expect, right?
Yes.
But when you go to a small business for the first time, first impression, and you're like, oh, they got candles. Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy me this candle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go to ask a question. Are they soy or beeswax or whatever? Maybe they say local distribution and they don't put no city and no zip code. No, so we don't even know where the hell it
Right.
happens. I'm like, why are you putting in my local area and we don't know where your local area actually is?
Right. Little things.
It makes things, if the customer has to fight you to get to you and to get to your product, guess what? There's another candle maker a click away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to go to
Like,
you.
it's like, even as a business owner, when you start out, you're going to change your processes. You're going to change things as you go because you're going to be learning with different customers.
Yeah.
It's just like, take those lessons and learn from it.
Constructive criticism.
And
Make it constructive.
make it easy for your customer. I was reading something the other day and it was just like, you don't want your customer to have to do too much work.
Because they won't.
No.
It is an instantaneous. I want microwave. I want my shit now.
Now we have a microwavable mentality out here. And I had to cut, I do a lot of business writing too. So I've learned less is more, so I've cut down my process to just one sentence because with resumes, they don't read my nobody reads. So
at all.
Just make it simple and sweet and easy for them to get by. That's all.
I think a lot of it stems from I call it the ratchet business mentality, if you will. It stems from being ratchet in your personal life, right? So if you're not an organized person and you're flaky and you don't remember your appointments, you're never on time, you don't pay your bills on time, you don't always address people probably the way you should, your verbiage is a little raggedy,
Harsh.
a little harsh. So how do you think you think it's gonna miraculously change and be 360 in your business life?
Right. And it's really, it's just, even if you are ratchet, honey, turn it on and turn it off.
Woo!
Okay. If you know me, my friends, I am fun.
Right.
I'm professional, and then I'm Lisha at the end of the day. And
Right.
I know how to turn it on and I know how to turn it off.
When it's appropriate.
Yes.
That's the keyword,
Exactly.
appropriateness, right? I mean, you can wear a tube top if you want to, but tube top and Daisy Dukes to a baby christening probably ain't the move.
No, it's just having that mentality of understanding. And right now I tell, I do workshops with high schoolers and stuff, and I tell them, I'm like, you guys are such at a great advantage because when I was in school, I'm a 90s baby. Okay, we had a library, we didn't have YouTube, and we didn't have,
can I say, Encyclopedia Britannica. I was looking up my, you know what I'm saying, my biology reports.
Y'all have so many resources. So even if you don't know, look it up. Okay, what should I wear?
Google
it. Attire. What is black? What is it? Black tie attire. What are these things? If you don't, you have the resources. Use it.
Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. They want the title. Oh, I'm a small business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur. But all that means to me is that you hop from thing to thing because you haven't found the thing that was for you.
Yes, and that's an issue that I run into with my writing with resumes. I get so many people that are all over the place, and I'd be like, hold on.
Let's reel it in.
The first question I ask people is, what's the goal? What is your goal? Okay, you want to go into law. Okay.
Right.
Well, let's get in some small positions to see if that's really what you want to do before you go out here putting 30, 50,000 dollars worth of loans in a law degree and you really don't even like law, you know? So it's just like, you have to, like, I have to steer people back. Like, okay, is this really what you want to do? Or are you doing it?
Almost like some soul searching.
Yeah, like, is your friend's homegirl doing this? That's why you want to
Why
do
you want it? Why you selling lashes and mixtapes out the trunk, right?
Yeah,
Because
like, if you're authentically doing what we all have a purpose, you know, and if you're authentically doing what you're called to do and what you enjoy, you're not going to half-ass it. You're going to make sure that you follow through with what you're
you're
doing.
going to treat it like it's your baby almost.
Baby.
You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. So I think that's where a lot of people, you know, I do a lot of like mentoring and motivational things with
Right,
people
right,
discouraged already about their
right,
job search and things like that. And I just try to promote positivity and just kind of give people direction, because there's a
right.
out here that are just don't know, you know, like
And
what.
you know, a lot of times they'll say, well, I like this position and I think I can do it, but I don't really have any experience, right? But then you, as a resume writer, you will dig into I'm going to your resume stuff and be like, oh, well, you said you want to be a manager, but in this position, you were actually doing some managerial stuff. Here, boom, let's pull that skill out.
Mm-hmm.
You said you didn't have any, and you want to do inventory. Well, look at all this inventory you were doing over here at Walmart. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Boom, let's pull
Yeah,
that out. You know what I mean? You could actually build it.
yeah, into what you want to do. I've just recently had to do that with my best friend lately, because she is a master cosmetologist, and she's very well rounded. And I asked
Right.
her, what do you want to do? And she gave me this job, and I was like, no, ma'am, like, you're not doing that. We're not doing that, man. I love you. She know how I am. So I was like,
Right.
what I do a lot of research. And I'm like, there's
Right.
consulting out here. You could go into the business aspect of that. You could do sales. Like, you could do all these things that you.
Workshops. You could do a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah. And she a whole beauty manager now, okay? And loving it and making commission, and like she's thriving at it, you know?
But you
So,
have to know what drives you,
yep.
what your passion is,
What you
and what,
do for free.
that wouldn't bother you
I
if
wrote
you couldn't
resumes
get paid.
for 15 years for free. For free.
No, ma'am.
I was the one that everybody was just like, hey,
Was coming to.
yeah, like, can you help me with this? Can you write this? Can you? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, And
Because to you, it was second nature. I could do it. It's easy. I don't mind it.
it was. And then one day I was like, I
Ding,
need.
ding, 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 ding.
And that's what I tell people. It's fulfilling for me, because what really makes me mad about people in the resumes is like, that's your first impression for a job. Y'all out here looking any type of way. I mean, I wouldn't want to look no type of way.
Right, right. So it's like you're going to come looking professional.
Yes.
You're going to come looking professional and you're going to be dressed, but they're not going to see you first. They're going to see your resume
Your
first.
paper. Yes.
And so that has to be.
It has to match.
Yes.
And
Yes.
in healthcare for 12 years. I actually just recently retired myself. And I have a management degree in healthcare, and I've done a lot of interviews and stuff like
Right.
that. And like, people come in just looking any type of way. And I'm like, these are things
Did
that
you know you had an interview today?
like, these are things that are not taught, and it just grinds my gears, because I'm like, come on, man. Like, you can't come in jeans to a professional setting, or a wrinkled shirt. Like there's.
Right. If you were going for a construction job, I'd expect you to have on jeans and some work boots in case they say pick
or
up that brick and keep going.
Or some khakis in a polo.
Even business casual. Yes.
It's the simplest things, because it's like, I even had a conversation with one of my colleagues the other day about my medical people. We got to stop wearing scrubs to interviews. Just because you're in the field.
That is like a robe to me.
Yeah,
that's like a robe.
That's our robe.
A house coat, as the old people call it, right? That's a house coat to me.
And it's like, I know you wear scrubs. You're a nurse, or whatever the case. But it's just like, if I had to decide between you and someone else who y'all have the same qualifications and they came business attired and you came in scrubs, I probably might go with them.
Because the presentation.
It's the presentation. It's the presentation.
And that's the same thing with your business, with your personal, whether it's your resume speaking for your personal, if you're going for a business, or it's your brand or your logo, if it's your business, that's speaking for you before anybody even knows what product you are, right?
Yep.
And so
it matters.
It matters. That's my point. It matters. So how did you actually start? You said you started writing resumes for like 15 years ago. Was it in school?
So actually my mom has an HR background, and yeah, I hear about it all the time, and I'm like, I don't understand, Mom, like, why these people, because she would help people with their resumes, and like back in the day, resumes were very simple. They're not like they are now.
Right.
I wrote poems, I wrote short stories and things like that all the time. I was everybody's editor as a child.
That's what it, yep.
So I used to help her, just proofread over her stuff. And,
yep.
It's just a skill I just acquired over time. And when I graduated from X-ray school, we had to have resumes. And a lot of people in my class were like, hey, Lish, can you look at my resume?
Ma'am, can I help? Can you?
Okay. And I actually had one of my first clients come back to me. She was like one of my first friends that really trusted me with her resume, and completely different style, and she sent me the resume I sent her, and I was like, oh wow, like my skills then came.
Hey, I've come up since then, right?
Yeah, it's just perfecting your craft,
Of course.
A lot of it was from my mom, and just because I was like, I don't understand how a piece of paper, like people just have a piece of paper looking any type of way. And
were you like an English major?
No,
in high school?
I wasn't, but I wrote all the time. I just used to write. I mean, I have books of
journaling,
of just short stories. Well, I did
creative writing.
I did a lot of things in middle school with it. We had this this book where you could submit stories and poems. I was in that. But writing has just always been a niche. It brings me peace, because even being on here and talking to you, I'm like coming out of my comfort zone, because I'm not quiet, but talking like in front of people isn't my thing.
Isn't your thing. I got it.
I'd rather write it out.
Right. But believe you me, this is not my thing either. I've always been like a behind the scenes. I like to create and do the artsy fartsy and then step back and let somebody else take the limelight. But I do like to talk.
Yeah, I'm a talker too.
And so I'm like, well, what can I do that is true to myself, right? Where I feel like I can be creative, where I can run my mouth, and where I can actually help people do whatever they need to do. So in this case, it's, small business is kind of like near and dear to my heart. So I'm like, I just combine those three things into something, that made me blossom.
Yeah.
I was a shrinking violet before too. I was like, I don't want to be in front of the camera.
Yeah, I'm real low key. Like, I'll be in the background. Okay, I'm fine. I don't need to be seen.
Right. And so sometimes as business owners, though, you have to come out of your shell. You have to embark on different avenues that are going to push you and your brand forward. And some of those may be uncomfortable.
Yes. But I'm real big on my faith, but being uncomfortable, that's where the blessings are, and that's
growth.
Yeah. But this whole entrepreneur journey has been uncomfortable.
A lot of times people look at the end result. Like you said, we're a microwave society. We want it, and we want it like right now, right?
Yes.
And we always look at that end goal of like, I see those folks out there flipping money, popping bottles, they're driving all these fancy cars, these big houses, but we don't know the struggle, the sleepless nights, the tears, the bloodshed, whatever they was doing
Mm-hmm.
to scratch and crawl to get to where they were. We don't see that,
Yeah,
right?
it's a
And
process.
and if you're not doing something that actually speaks to your heart or speaks to your soul, when that journey gets tough, you're going to hit the road and find the next easiest thing
Yeah.
smoking. That's that serial entrepreneur, because when it gets hard, they just, and
And
they go to the next, right? Next thing.
right. Yeah. And things get hard, and I think as a society, we have to stop giving up on things when it gets hard, because it's like that's where you learn. Like that's where the learning lessons are.
But also, how about us not sugarcoating it and acting like we don't go through that stuff?
Right.
Because
It's important. It's definitely
what they
important.
call it now, transparency.
Yes.
That's the new buzzword, is transparency.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Like I try to with my friends, I try to be as transparent as I can about things like even like motherhood. My one or two of my friends, I the whole journey, I was like, look, I'm real blunt, okay? Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. Even with my
right.
clients, I don't sugarcoat nothing with them. You hired me to do a job, and I'm here to help you.
And why am I gonna lie to you?
Because then you're gonna come back, and I don't need you to come back because I need you to get to where you need to go.
You get right. Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
Like I'm not the one to sit here and want to
pat you and soothe you, and
I need you to go and flourish where you're meant to be.
But it seems like a lot of times when you take on clients, it's very few and far between that you find those clients that are just like ready to gung-ho and take off, and anything you say to do, they're running to do. The majority of them want to sit back and let you
do all the work. Let me tell you something. I think that is the hardest thing, and that's one of my I try to pray through it, because I you did. I don't know what you like. My writing is very accomplished based. Like that's what they want to see on these resumes. So it's like, I don't know what you did. I need you to provide the information. Like I can't just make up something and you want an executive role. Like you got to put the work in.
But you can't speak the executive speak, and you can't write the executive write and tell me what the heck, right?
Like I'm just here, and I tell people help me help you.
Okay. So, oh my God, you said it. Say that again.
Help me help you.
So I want to jump on that for just for a minute for these folks that do events. So let's talk about, I just want to harp on this for a quick moment.
Yeah.
Anybody who goes and they are a vendor at events, these events are for you. It is not for the event organizer, the business organizer, to do all of the marketing and advertising. They are providing the spot, the venue, the time frame for you. It is your responsibility as that small business to get off of your duff.
Yes,
and reach out to your network, and you draw your crowd out. Do not expect somebody to always do the work for you.
And then add, if the turnaround doesn't turn out exactly how you expected it, to do anything you have to put in work. Whether it's your organization or or not, so it's just like my son's business, Mauzy LLC.
Right.
We do some vendor events and things like that.
Right.
And promote it. If they send me the flyer, if they don't send me a flyer, I'll make my own.
Research out and promote it yourself, right?
You have to do your marketing, and that's just a part of being a business owner, unless you have a marketing manager.
Well, and let me tell you, and this is at every level of business. I don't care if you are still at the hobby level selling tumblers and t-shirts and customizing pens, or the company that I partnered with back in November over the Black Friday weekend was a $15 million company.
Oh, wow.
They felt that because they were a $15 million company, they didn't have to advertise and promote.
Oh, okay.
So they figured just because they are who they are, it's like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. Well, people got to freaking know about it. They still got to know what's
Yeah,
going on in your whatever. You always have to market. It
you
doesn't have to be
do.
paid, but you got to market. Social media, man, throw it.
And I mean, and right now, I mean, it's just kind of like, don't get too comfortable. No matter how big you are, because there's somebody else watching every move that you're making, and they gonna try to come and mimic what you're doing, even though they might not be you. But like, there's people that are watching. So it's just like, don't get too comfortable, because as
Be
quick as you
on your
grow
game.
into that organization, it could be taken away. People don't realize that either.
Girl, and I already knew, my spidey senses were already tingling. I already know this company next year is going to try to put this event on without me. I already feel it in my spidey senses and in my heart, but that's okay
Yep.
because they will never be able to do what I did
Yep.
at their facility, and that's okay, but I wanted to jump on that you said, help me help you, because a lot of small businesses want the help, but they don't want to pay for the help. They want the free help. They want you to do the help for them, not put in any work. You will go and get you a venti or a grande or whatever bullshit caffeinated java you want.
Priorities.
Man, but you can't drop $25 for an advertisement for your business for the month, but you'll pay 4 times a week $10 for
Mm-hmm.
some stinking coffee. Like, where are your priorities?
People don't. A lot of people I realize their priorities are everywhere.
They're not in line with their business. They
Yep.
mix their personal wants and their business needs.
Yep.
And so many times, your personal wants take that back burner to
Mm-hmm.
your. I interviewed a young lady who actually has a brick and mortar beauty supply store.
Mm-hmm.
Told me about sleeping over on the floor, doing construction and painting, and she's working. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's what it takes.
Yeah.
You don't always have the money to go hire somebody to paint and somebody to put
Put
up a
yourself.
wall, and
Mm-hmm. How bad
that's what.
you really want it? That's how I look at things. There's nights I'm up. I have a 3-year-old, okay? So my life is all over the place, and 2 businesses. There's nights I'm up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
And then
Like,
you get right back up
and
with
I
that
get
baby.
up and do what I got to do the next day. And before I stopped working, I took my leap of faith last April and quit my job. And I was just kind of like, okay, here
Do
we
or
go.
die. Right.
But it's just like, there's so much work that goes into the business, and it's just like, it's not just going to happen overnight. Like, you have to put the work in, you have to sacrifice things. And I think that's one of the hardest things for people, is sacrificing your own wants sometimes. Like, there's times where I'm like, all right, yeah, I really want to go on this vacation, but I need to do this.
I gotta pay for my website. I gotta do you know how many people's websites I've clicked to go buy something and their websites don't even work? And I'm like, oh my gosh,
They're inactive.
because you didn't pay your
Yes,
bill.
like, put it on automated payment. They got all these things. Like, there's
But
certain.
they're too busy, like, getting lashes and, you know, like I said, Starbucks, or, you know, pretending that they're content creators
Yeah, because
instead
it's
of.
wave right now. Everybody is on the entrepreneur journey, so it's just like, let me get on, and it's like, this ain't for the weak. I tell people all the time, I've helped a couple of my friends start their business and things like that, and I'm like, look, I'm blunt. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like, it's not easy. It's not. You know, you
And
gotta put the work.
don't throw a husband into the mix too. I mean, we already been to marriage counseling once. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Like, I'm
Hey,
just saying, because it's different when a man has a business and he's out of the house and he's doing stuff, because men are supposed to be the breadwinners, the bacon bringer homers and all that stuff. And then as a woman, I'm retired now, just like you. I'm not in my big girl job anymore. And so the household got used to me being mom and being at home. And then when I decided to go business, whoa,
right.
what about me? The attention back on me, 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 me. And I'm like, hold
Yep.
on, big boy,
It's
big
like, let me
boys.
have my time. I've been there for everybody else. And I think that's one of the issues that I had being a mom. Is like I was putting everybody before myself. And
Mom guilt.
mom
Mom
guilt. It's
guilt.
hard because it's like, for a little while
Mom
down a little
guilt.
tunnel, little depression, like a little dark tunnel, because I wasn't feeding myself and I was feeding everybody else. I was depleted. So it's like, even in relationships, like you have to feed each other. So no one gets all the way exhausted, and you have dreams
Right.
and goals. Everybody has dreams and goals. We got to work together to get them accomplished.
Right. Oh, most definitely. It's just that, so for example, like I've got the dream of, the business or whatever, but, you know, the other person that's with me may not. Or you have the dream of the business, the other person may not. Or you've got the dream of going into the military, the other person does not. You see what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so by hook or by crook, that other person is automatically thrown into that journey with you.
Yeah.
And they may not like the fact that some of that sacrificing, I'm
Yeah.
just being real,
Um,
not only affects you, but is going to affect them too, because you're going to be pinching pennies on their booty. Oh, mommy can't get you that toy, or no, we can't go to McDonald's as often, or we can't get that pizza, or we can't get wings, or whatever the case is.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We can't go and play at the casino. We can't go, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
that other person's personal space, personal bubble is going to be affected by your business also.
Yeah.
And so as a business owner with a significant other, and even with the children, they're your significant others, right?
Yes.
It, it's a
It's a
it's a balance.
And it's like, that whole where they talk about
Wait a
working
minute, and then you
out.
got to put yourself in there. So you got three things: you,
Man,
just, you know what I'm saying? The business, you, the children,
it's
the
tough.
spouse, if you have it, your
It's it's a
personal
lot of sacrifice.
bills, your
Yes.
car, your house note, your cable bill, cell phone,
Issues. Everybody.
baby diaper, whatever, right?
No, I get it. It's a hard balance, and that's something that's been hard for me. Especially in the beginning, was just trying to
Yes.
balance it. Because with everything going on in the world today, and like the demand of your clients and stuff like that, like I've had to like take my turnaround times change because my life, I still have a life.
Right,
Um,
right, right,
so
right,
setting those
right.
boundaries, I think it's important to set
Ooh, ooh,
boundaries.
ooh, my favorite word.
The word nobody likes,
My
but it's not.
favorite word, etiquette and boundaries.
Mm,
Oh, girl, I told you you were my soulmate for this business stuff. I'm telling you, my language, boundaries. I loved when you said that you set your hours, your business hours. You can't call up or email Mr. Walmart or Target and expect them to email you back right away at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Why would you expect a small business owner who's sound asleep?
exactly. I've had clients call me at 10 o'clock at night.
I got a call at 4:30 in the morning from Portland, Oregon.
Like, what
Somebody
do you
complaining
want?
about a t-shirt. Man, you can miss me. Then
Mhm.
my husband's looking at me side-eye. Like,
Right.
who the hell calling you at 4:30 in the morning?
I think the hardest part for me was when I was writing and I was working full time. was setting those weekend boundaries, because I would come home and I would be like, all right, I didn't do this on the weekend. And I'm like, this time to spend with my child, to relax my brain from this
Yes,
crazy week that I just had.
you
And that was
must.
the biggest boundary for me. Like
You
Sunday,
must.
oh baby, I'm Chick-fil-A. I don't work on Sunday.
Right.
Okay.
You must turn your phone
Have
off
to
at a
have
certain
it.
time at night. Set your, if you use, Meta for business, for Instagram and Facebook, set the unavailable and put your
Mhm.
times in there. Set automated messages.
Yep. There's so many things you could do. If you on one of those booking apps, you got that where it can automate everything.
Man, even if you feel like you gotta write the person back, right? Send it to schedule for 8 a.m.
Exactly.
Monday morning. So they don't see it was sent at a weird time and they feel that they can get you at that weird time because you up,
Right.
right?
Right. I've even had to recently, between 5 and 7, my phone goes on do not disturb. I don't care. I need that time for myself, spend
To
with my baby,
decompress, right?
to degress off my day. Like, and that's another boundary I had to set. Like, don't call me if you need something, because I can't really help you.
It can wait till,
It
if
can wait.
nobody's on fire,
Yeah, don't
a
call me.
limb hanging off, and in business, there should not be. In your
Nope,
line of work, nobody should be on fire.
buddy.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody should be on fire in your line of work. It can wait till,
It can wait.
right?
And a lot
Unless
of
it's
emergency.
an emergency and they want to pay an expedited.
Honey, I didn't have no grace. I told people last year I'm not having grace with y'all, because one of the things I promote with resumes is your resume updated. If you have a job, you should have a resume. Okay, so it's like, keep it updated, and because your poor planning has nothing to do with me. Now, if you want to pay this expedited fee, I can get it to you in 48 hours.
I'm talking about
Or like
upfront expedited fee, boo.
expedite. You
Upfront.
can pay a little extra to jump my line.
Right.
It's not
But
cheap,
other than
but I
that, I love that you set your business policies. On my phone, I'm a little bit later. I set it to 10 p.m. And
Mhm.
that's only because I don't necessarily answer anybody back at that time, but I will maybe schedule some stuff on my social media to go out later, or do my own research, or that might be time when I go to my ledger and write out my bills and stuff like that. But on my phone, it actually goes to black and white instead of color.
Oh, really?
So it tells me to
I
get
love
the
it.
hell off. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, I do it because, and my husband's like, "What's wrong with your phone? You need to fix that." I'm like, "No,
No,
this
I
is
like
this
that.
is intentional. This
Yes.
is intentional." So I'm cognizant of, okay, Helena, you need to get and wind it down.
Mhm.
Otherwise, like you, I'll be up till
Scrolling.
a million o'clock, right?
Researching, because I feel like the entrepreneur brain is constantly a ping pong ball. Like, it doesn't rest. Like, even when I'm asleep, I'm not asleep.
A hamster is constantly, I call that hamster on the wheel,
Going. Like,
always going.
it's
So what
crazy.
I suggest, and what I would suggest to you, is I keep notebooks. Do you take copious notes? Girl, you feel me?
I don't do phones. Like, I'm old school. I am a real old head. I still have a planner, and that's my Bible. I might put something in my phone if I need to like pay extra attention, but I write everything down. I'm a writer. I write
Me
everything.
too. And you want to hear something cool? For my birthday, my husband got me something called a rocket book.
Oh, what's
Now, a rocket book, it's a reusable notebook. It's almost like a whiteboard in a
that?
notebook, and you use these Pilot gel pens, and you can
What?
write on it.
Let me
Look,
write that.
so listen, you can write on it, right? And
Uh-huh.
then you scan it with your phone with the Rocket app. It goes up to the cloud. So then you got all your notes. Then your girl is super saucy. They got a converter that will convert script to text, and then all your notes are in text.
Really? Hey, I just learned something new today. Yes, I'm about to go get that. Thank you,
And
girl.
because I'm artsy fartsy, I draw. So
Mm-hmm.
I can and the pens come in different colors because they're gel pens. You can actually draw in everything and then just scan it and it will upload. So
Interesting. Technology these days. You
I'm
got.
I'm saying
I
anything
like
you
that.
can. we all learn differently. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And everybody's business, business path, business journey is going to be different.
Yes.
We all have different backgrounds. We have different skills, different strengths. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? I happen to be very verbose and I like to creative write also.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, that's like sticking matches in their eyeballs. Like they don't like that, right? You know? So their journey in, say, writing content for their business is good. It's going to be harder on them than
Mm-hmm.
it is for somebody like us. So our journeys are all, but they may be the bomb with like video editing, right? So we all have
It's
different
like
strengths.
reading this thing the other day, and it was talking about, or was it TDJ? Was it TDJ? He was talking about finding your weakness and
Mhm.
understanding your weakness as a business owner. And I'm like, I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything, and to make your business run efficiently, even if you don't have customer service skills, find something or someone that has it so that you can learn and implement it in your business. And I'm like, I've been writing a list of my weaknesses because I'm like, I need to
Well,
figure out
it's
what these are.
finding, it's also, I call that knowing your limitations.
Yes. And that's what he was talking about.
Because, so for example, I do have an IRS background. So I know how to do taxes. You may not,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's where I think as small business owners, right? I'm here in Atlanta and I always say this, that, here in my area, especially the women small business owners, they're like, "Rah,
Mm-hmm.
rah." And I really feel that, because we all have such diverse strengths and stuff and different backgrounds that we come to the table with, if
Mm-hmm.
we really, as a strong woman network, like really bonded together. I mean, I'm not saying mesh our businesses, but
No,
just
work together to help each
yes, you can accomplish so much more because my struggle would be so easy for you and
yeah,
your struggle would be so easy for her, and we could barter and really
help each other. And that's the thing that I feel like is a struggle in the world now because everybody sees everybody as competition. And it's just like, first of all, you need to only be competing with yourself. Second off, like if I have a strength and I can help you, I'm going to help you. That's just my spirit because I love to help people. But like there's
right,
more of that, you know?
right.
Because it's just like, don't look at it as, oh, well, if I help her, I'm not going to. No, you're going to block your blessings being
And
like,
that's how I tell folks that'll be like, well, she makes candles and I make candles, so I don't really want to, you know, talk
girl,
to her. And I'll say stuff like, when's the last time you've been shopping? When's the
right.
last time you've been down the bread aisle?
Baby, let's talk about the bread aisle.
Woo! Can we get potato bread, white rye bread, pumpernickel
Baby,
seeded, unseeded wheat, whole wheat,
I say
honey?
that all the time, but is it a you? Do they have a you? Like, I was just
Uh,
recently, I
your recipe gonna be different from somebody else's recipe.
exactly. Like, I tried to get in this group one time. It was some like Facebook group or something like
Right.
that. And they denied me because I was a resume writer and one of the other girls was a resume writer in there when I researched later. And I'm like, girl, come on now.
Oh, us. What?
I'm not, I don't ever get, there's a million resume writers out there. I don't care. You could go work with her. That's completely fine. Maybe I'm not for you.
Right. And
Okay.
that's my point. Entenmann's ain't for everybody. Wonder Bread is or Sunbeam ain't for everybody. You're gonna gravitate who you gravitate to,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean there are so many people out here that eat bread, that use candles,
And
that need
yeah,
a resume,
and when a
that
storm hit, all the bread in the bread aisle was gone. Okay. So,
are saying. So I really feel that with all my heart that, one small business owner's struggle is another one's strength. I
hmm
really believe that we need to be transparent about that though, and not make it seem like, oh yes, I got everything going on. I mean, you want to fake it till you make it,
yes.
but don't fake it to the point where
It makes you look silly.
That, or you get called out for being phony because you can't back it up.
Yes. Definitely, because what's done in the dark, it comes to light really when you really get out there, or you're at a networking event and somebody asks about something. Like, you got to be ready to just spill it off, or be like, yeah, I don't really know much about that, but I do know some. Like me, I don't ever say no.
Let me find out for you.
Hold on one second. Let me go. Well, even I used to, what grinds my gears with like working in like healthcare and like customer service, all the jobs I had, was when people would be like, that ain't my job. Baby, I'm sorry. That's not your job.
So,
okay. Well, you can help that customer go find someone that can help that customer.
So you know what my response is to that? Your job is customer service.
Exactly.
Serve me. Serve me.
Job is a piece of customer service, and it's just so rude. And it's another part of being in the business etiquette is talking to people.
Professionalism.
Is that?
Whoa! I mean, we're talking kind of like, hey girl, that, right? But when it comes to, if I was in front of a bank or the SBA, you best believe Helena's hair would be slicked back in a bun with no bows, and I would be real corporate looking. You know what I mean? There's a time, there's a place for everything, for speech. If you're going to communicate with your customers, do it via professional channels, because otherwise they're going to be calling you at 6 o'clock during dinner.
Asking the same thing you already
Didn't I already tell you that?
Like, girl, I see this.
And
and with my business writing, I've learned a lot. There's an email etiquette as well. And your tone. It's your tone. There's a tone.
It comes through, doesn't it? People do not. They were like, I didn't say anything. It was just a text. I felt them daggers coming through on the text message. You can feel them.
Yes, and I'm very clear in my writing. I'm everybody says I'm blunt, but I'm just I'm very to the point. Okay, if to the point was a person, it would be me. So I've had to learn to even adjust my emails, like rereading it, like, okay, this don't sound like I'm yelling at them, does it?
Right.
Or just adjust, and it's taking that self-criticism for yourself and like, dang, I could have probably said that a little bit better, or
Right. Mine is coming off condescending.
Yes.
Like, you're an idiot. Why are you asking me this fucking question again? I've already asked you 20 damn times. If you would have just scrolled down, you would have seen the fucking answer. Like, that's my tone, but I try not to write it like that, right? That's what's in my head.
Because some of the times they are idiots.
Like bricks.
They don't know what they're talking about.
But then again, what I've realized these days too, and I had to kind of catch myself, right? Because, so for example, I do a lot of events, and I've got 3 big events coming up for the springtime for the tea parties. And I'm advertising them in 3 different states, and they are advertised on Facebook. There are so many scammers.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many scammers that have jumped in on my posts and tried to say like, oh, if you want to just hit me up, and I've had to go in and block and delete. So I constantly have people seeking out my website to actually send me messages. I think it's almost like to verify that the event is actually legitimate. Because there have been times where, you might pay for an event with PayPal or Cash App, and it wasn't a real event.
Yeah, because there was so many of those going on, I think around like COVID, where people were scared because of all the...
Even now they're doing it, girl.
Are you serious? And it's like, y'all messing up people money and business.
It's so silly. And I'm like, woman, this person is scamming you. If you just scroll down, you see they got ashy feet in the sand, kicking dirt in Ghana. Like, why are you...
A lot of that. So I actually use Stripe for my payments, right?
Yes.
Well, they are scamming with that, and I pay my attention to detail is disgusting at times because I see everything.
See, we were going to sign up with the Stripe account, so do tell.
Now, nothing wrong with Stripe, nothing
Right.
wrong with Wave, nothing wrong with any of them. But I don't know if there's just kind of like where they could see new email addresses that sign up for the Stripe platform. Well, the scammers are coming and acting like, oh, you submitted your $300 payment, didn't go through, da 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 da. But if you look, the wording is off. It doesn't have the
Misspelled everything
on there. Yeah, and it's just like, I got off of one platform because I was like, they trying to scam. And then I got on another payment system and did the same thing. So I'm just like, okay, this is just what we're doing. So
isn't it though? And it's difficult as a small business to really figure out
what's legit and what's not. And it's just doing your research, really what it is.
That's all it boils down to.
Go back, look at the initial email that Stripe sent, see what that color looks like. And, then
and even if you click the little arrow that's next to the email, if you click it, it'll show you the entire email address. Yes, usually it's some gibberish.
Yeah, Fred's cousin at
it's some gibberish, exactly.
Yeah, so it's just, I think we have to slow down and pay attention for your own sake. Even when I signed up for my son's LLC, I was getting scam mail from the state. And it really wasn't from the state. And it was like $50 for something. And I was like, I looked at
to register. I'm like, I'm already registered, buddy.
Right. But somebody not paying attention would have paid that little $50 and then got scammed,
So really, it sounds like small business, again, is mimicking real life, right? You've got your finances. You've got your balancing of relationships, whether it's to your customers or to your staff, how your family deals with that new business. They may not like that mom is away for so many hours in a new business, right? Because that attention, and then you got the mom guilt because you're like, oh, I'm ignoring my babies, right? I had it all. But Lisha, if they want to get in contact with you, if they need to get their resumes fluffed up, not even fluffed up, but
revamped, baby, because
redone,
a whole new resume,
recycled, upcycled, all of that, right? If they need to get that situated, or they're even since you're so good with content, even maybe they need some content written out, like they don't know what to write for their website or their description or anything like that. Is that stuff that you would be inclined to do as well?
Anything with words. I actually do. Anything with words is me. That's what I keep telling
people. I love it.
Marketing things. I actually did. One of my old bosses, she's actually a client of mine. I've done a lot of like employee forms. Forms are actually my favorite thing to do. I love forms and contracts.
Really?
Yeah. I love, like, for the hospital I worked at, I used to see just forms sitting around from my doctor that he made years ago.
And redo them.
This look janky. Let me redo this. Like, I just love forms. I don't know what it is. Like, I was always that person that liked to do paperwork.
Y'all hear this, right? Y'all watching who hate doing paperwork, who hate doing those administrative things like the forms, who hate writing.
Employee handbooks. I've done a couple of those. Welcome guides, training guides, technical writing. I like doing how-to steps and things like that. That's all the weird stuff that nobody
back pocket. You're in my back pocket, girl.
Yes,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You just said all the magic words that I needed to hear. All of them. I love it. Honey, where can they find you if they need your assistance?
So my website is coming. I'm actually working with one of my friends that's building it for me. So it is coming soon, but you can email me. That's usually the quickest way to get into contact. My email address is likeabossresumes@yahoo.com. Also, Like a Boss Resumes on every social media platform. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. No Twitter.
Absolutely love it. It has been a pleasure. This girl has been dropping gems, nuggets this entire time, y'all. Again, entrepreneurship, small business ownership is not for the faint of heart.
Mm-mm.
No, but you fake it till you make it. You
Yep.
get Lisha over here to help you on the back end and get you all polished up and shiny for the masses, and you'll be A-okay and right to go, girl. Is there anything you'd like to say
No,
to
I thank
everybody
you
before
for
we
this.
sign off?
Yeah, thank you for this
Oh, you're
opportunity.
so welcome.
I love your spirit.
Oh, thank you. I had a wonderful time, and we will see y'all next time on What's Poppin' USA. Bye now.